Hi, I'm Bill the Domestic Monk. Welcome back to another video and thanks very much for watching. So I've talked about the fallacious start of Protestantism in prior videos, but something just happened with the Vice President of the United States, which employed the same tactics as Martin Luther that I wanted to talk about. So I'm going to play a short clip of Vice President Kamala Harris supposedly quoting from the preamble of the U.S. Constitution. See if you can spot the missing words.
America is a promise. It is a promise of freedom and liberty. A promise we made in the Declaration of Independence. That we are each endowed with the right to liberty and the pursuit of happiness.
Did you catch it? She said, we are all endowed with certain rights, among them liberty and the pursuit of happiness. Now, the actual preamble to the U.S. Constitution says, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. Among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So that's the whole thing. It was only a few words longer to say the whole sentence, the whole phrase. There was no reason to admit any of the words if your intentions were honorable. But we know that Harris is godless and a major champion of slaughtering the unborn without restriction. Those few words she admitted put the lie to her speech, so she just cut them out. And that's exactly what she stole from the Playbook of Martin Luther. He did the same thing when he began promoting the heresy that we are saved by faith alone. The only place in Scripture where the words faith and alone are together are in James 2:24, and it reads, you see that a person is considered righteous by what they do and not by faith alone. He also briefly removed the entire book of James from the already corrupted Protestant canon of Scripture. But even that didn't stand for long, even with Protestants, so they put the book back into the canon. But here's the sad thing, even with all that, a heresy starting with a clear and provable lie was not enough to prevent millions from following Luther into false beliefs over the last 500 years. It's the same trick Kamala Harris is using today. Jesus addressed this issue himself in John 8:44. Why do you not understand what I am saying? Is it because you are unable to accept my message? You belong to your father, the devil, and you want to carry out his desires. He was a murderer from the beginning, refusing to uphold the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he lies, he speaks his native language, because he is a liar and the father of lies. But because I speak the truth, you do not believe me. The devil knows that once we consent to a lie, we are compromised, and it's easier to get us to do it again. Remember the little lie that he told Eve to get her to eat from the tree of life? Did God really say that you must not eat from a tree in the garden? You certainly won't die. God knows well that when you eat from the tree, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil. Just a little lie, but look how that turned out. We sure know about good and evil now, don't we? So, in my law enforcement career, I spent considerable time working with street gangs. They didn't bring new prospects into the gang by asking them to commit murder right out of the gate. They got them to do something small to compromise themselves, and then they got them. And it's easier to get them to do the next thing they want them to do. You see the same thing happening with regard to transgender ideology and preferred pronouns. The whole concept of preferred pronouns is based on lies. Men cannot become women and vice versa. It's not possible. It's a lie. But still, many choose to submit to it in order to not offend. But shouldn't we be the ones who are offended for being asked to participate in something we know to be untrue? When you compromise yourself for a seemingly small thing just because it's inconvenient to take a stand, it will inevitably result in a greater evil. Therefore, the slaughter of unborn babies becomes a woman's right to choose. The institution of marriage becomes love is love. And once these perverse pronouns become accepted by an increasingly moral society, we'll be criminally liable for not participating in a lie. And that's why it's so important to know the teaching of Christ's church, to follow those teachings and don't compromise for convenience. History has proven time and time again that it won't be convenient for long if we do. So, thanks very much for watching, and as always, siempre adelante.